Welcome to my new series, The Box, where money meets movies and some stupid shit happens. Our first lesson: when $1 billion just straight up isn't $1 billion. Let's look at Zootopia, one of the best movies of last year. Conveniently, it made almost exactly $1 billion. Does that mean Disney made $1 billion? In North America, Zootopia topped out at around $340 million. But not every one of those dollars goes back to the world's most insanely large movie company. Let's save that topic for another day. You know how movie theaters always say that their food costs way too much because that's where they make all their money? That's actually more bullshit than a herd of buffalo can produce. In actuality, about half of the revenue from each ticket sold stays with the theater. Some, including one of my old theater managers, may say that the percentage there is even higher for the theater. So if a movie makes as insanely much as Zootopia, maybe it'll make a decent chunk of change for its studio, but nowhere near what it looks like. Hey, at least the studio gets half of the gross, right? That's not too bad. We're still talking about $500 million. Not really. In foreign markets, the cut for studios is even lower, about 40%, give or take. So do the math, and that's only about $180 million they had when they finally made it all the way to the bank. That's barely more than the domestic taste, and the gross here is $100 million more. Right now, things are looking very bleak, but we haven't yet included the second biggest market in the world. China can save us here, right?
Wrong.
You thought the 40-60 split with foreign territories was bad? Well, if you're a production with no connections to Chinese companies, then maybe you'll get to keep 25% of the profits. Admittedly, it helps that Zootopia was huge in China. 240 million or so is definitely nothing to scoff at. What is, however, is the Mouse House's cut. $60 million. Damn, that's a disappointment. So let's do the math and wrap this puppy up. Disney's domestic cut was a good but not great $170 million. Foreign market should have clutched up, but that only got us to 35% of $1 billion. And China's just China. So we now have a situation where $1 billion is really more like, less than half that amount. Now, of course, there are many factors here that can change, and all from film to film. But this is just one piece of the Hollywood puzzle that shows why it is such a mess, and why studios really need those record-breaking grosses for everything. Come back next week to talk about an even scarier realization. Zootopia also cost a lot of money.